time, your gateway to the world. AFR! American Freedom Radio. Give it to them.
Get real and heal. Listen to Christie on Soul Journeys Radio.
All right. Good evening, everyone, and happy frickin' Wednesday. Holy smoke, we are back. It is February 25, 2015, and as some of you know, this is Christie Aphrodite of Soul Journeys Radio here on AmericanFreedomRadio.com, and yeah, I guess it's been a while, last time we talked, or actually, I should say last time I talked to myself in a microphone with people listening. Let's see, December 2013. I probably said something like, hey, we'll see you next week. Actually, it was next month because I was planning on taking a road trip. We'll call it My Soul Journey, which, of course, I will talk about here tonight for our first show back. Update you on everything. Well, maybe not everything because we don't have enough time, but update you on everything that's been going on. So first of all, I want to thank Danny Romero and everybody at American Freedom Radio who have been working their butts off to make this happen again. And I need to let you know, we really need your help. The reason I love and respect Danny so much is because he works his butt off to provide this platform for all of you at no cost. And, you know, when you look around at other radio stations, you need to have a membership fee for this, or you get to listen to 1 hour or a 10-minute snippet, and then you have to pay for that archive. And if you notice, we don't do that here because we want this available to everyone. Obviously, you know, everybody has hard times occasionally, and not everybody can contribute monthly or daily or weekly or even yearly the way things have been going. But, yeah, we just need to ask for your support as we rebuild the network. Yeah, you can welcome back some of your favorite hosts. Today is the very first day, woohoo! And right before me was Alex Ansari. So he'll be doing Monday through Friday time slot. We have then myself. After me would be Susan Posel, and then Vinnie Eastwood after that. So, woohoo! Yay! Welcome back. Okay. Anyways, also want to let you know, the call-in number is 218-339-8525. That's 218-339-8525. So we will be able to take your phone calls. We're also going to have a phone number where people can call in to listen from their cell phone, say they're not at home or we're not streaming on a station near you. But let me find that number here. The phone number for people to call in is 605-562-5173. That's 605-562-5173. So that is not a caller line. That is a phone number you will call if, you know, your internet's not working or you just don't have it and you want to still be able to listen to all of the great shows here at American Freedom Radio. And another thing to look forward to, of course, we are on TuneIn Radio. So any smartphone or what are those things called, like iPads or iPhones or, I don't know, any of those things that require an app, you can go to TuneIn Radio. So just on your cell phone, smartphone, iPhone, whatever, just go to TuneIn Radio and an app will come up, download it, then do a search for American Freedom Radio. And that will take you right to our station. So, anyways, just want to let you know if you want to join your old great friends in the chat, that's over at souljourneysradio.com. There is a listen live player as well. And text chat, you don't really have to. I mean, you can put a real name and sign up if you want, but you don't have to. So you can just be in and on and say hi. And I'm really excited to see a lot of you. Forgive me, though. I just have to say I'm kind of a fish out of water. I'll update y'all on where I've been the last year. But Let's see. Last time I did the show, I had an office with like real computers and real internet and real microphones and real software and, you know, all of those things that it takes to put this together. And I don't have that at this time. So, if I miss something in the chat or, you know, it's just, that's kind of the way it's going to be. I have Skype working and I'm super excited about that, but I may not be able to be as on the ball online as I previously was. There have been, a few issues here. You know, I still have my trueessence.net, but I have, well, when I left on my road trip, I'm like, oh, I'll be back in a month, you know, sorry. Then it was like, 3 months, then 4 months, then 6 months, then 8 months, then a year, and now it's been over a year as my soul journey led me. Many of our loyal listeners, and thank you for that, by the way, was following it, following my journey, photos, videos, this and that. But we, many of you know I was deleted. I am censored. I am not allowed to be on YouTube because I talk too many herbs or something. Allegedly, I violated a copyright, and actually it goes a little bit more sinister than that, a trademark with all my gardening and direct live upload webcam videos that there were no backups for. And there was one person in particular that filed all of these complaints, and when they weren't able to have my site taken down, they decided to file a trademark on a word, and they used that trademark that they paid, I don't know, $600-700 for on a word to have YouTube go in and take my site down. And that was last February, so about a year and 2 weeks ago. Shortly after that, as many of our loyal listeners know, my Facebook with over 30,000 photos, over 300 recipes, the whole soul journey and everything you all were following, that was also nixed. So it's funny, I still get emails from people sometimes who are like, oh my God, where are you? Did you block me? You know, what did I do? I'm sorry for whatever I did. And so if you were one of those people, you didn't do anything. I was erased because I am not allowed to exist in the Akashic Records, which pretty much, I think Google equals Akashic Records. So that worked out really well for my stalkers because then my sites were down, my videos were down, my work was down. So when people would look for me, guess what they found? Only their slander. So that's been really, really fun. And that kind of got me into a series of we'll just call it Broken Promises. I left Branson, Missouri, as you all know. I am now living in the central Gulf Coast of Florida, which is known as the Nature Coast. It's absolutely beautiful. But, you know, there's always a dark side to everything. And, you know, that's what I love about American Freedom Radio. We're actually allowed to talk about that. It's not one of those mamby-pamby, you know, fluffy rainbow unicorn. Hey, man, you think positive. It's all good. No, you know what? You can think positive till you're blue in the face. You can say your mantras. You can meditate. You can eat the most perfect diet in the world. You can exercise every day. You can do all the things that people tell us we're supposed to be doing so we can ascend. Guess what? I call bullshit. And you know what? One of my friends brought up to me today. He's like, oh, well, you know, just keep being kind and put those positive intentions out there and everything's going to work. And I'm like, bull crap. That is such a lie. And so he started laughing. He's like, oh, my God, I'm so glad you said that because I hear that everywhere and I know it's not true either. But, you know, I mean, think about it, people. What happens when you turn on the light? You attract the moths. So we are in a dimension And I'm not going to put names and labels on it. Sorry, I'm not one of those experts speaking for God who's going to tell you exactly how the universe works. What I will do, though, is bring up questions. And this leads me to one of the questions I did kind of want to touch on tonight, that if we are in this dimension, in this plane, in this material world we call Earth, where everything is about duality, right? Black, white. Hot, cold, winter, summer, noon, midnight, spring, fall, you name it. There's clearly, we are living in a dualistic system. Now, the question I have, and I've been pondering for, my whole soul journey here for almost 15 months, is duality a law, or is it just an observation? So is it a law like, let's say, E equals MC squared? Does it have to be that way? Or is there really that hope that we can create this new reality? Now, I'm not knocking positive thinking, being kind, doing all these things, so I hope you're hearing me here. I'm just saying that there is more to it than that. So if you're here for fluffy, duffy, the world is changing and, you're just too negative. No, ain't gonna tell you that, because guess what? It takes all of it to exist, okay? Black, white, green, brown, ugly, pretty, whatever, because it's all dependent upon your perspective at the time. And that also, what is that? That brings you to truth. What is your truth? You can have any truth in the world. That is your reality. But it does not make it the utmost reality, okay? And for some of us who, maybe even think we know and can put a number or a label or read a book and recite it or go to workshops or whatever, again, we're still working with only the reality and perspective based on our experience. Right? Our truth, our reality can only be based upon our experience, our first-hand experience, because everything else is hearsay. I started asking some questions in regards to health right before my little soul journey, which I will get back to, by the way. But some of the things I started to ask, because many of you know, 7 years ago I was in a wheelchair. I was paralyzed from the waist down, never supposed to walk again, blah, blah, blah. Cancer, lupus, diabetes insipidus, stroke, seizures, MS. Had to wear diapers, I lost my kidneys, and, really, I was in infantile condition. I was in and out of doctors taking drugs, doing their surgeries my entire life up to that time, so 35 years. And then I embarked upon this, we'll call it a challenge or an experiment to see if I could heal myself. And honestly, at the time, I didn't really believe it was possible. My goal was just to be able to wipe my own butt, to feed my children, to go to the grocery store and the bank, because, I just wanted to be able to accomplish the basics to take care of my children. Even though I didn't know how I was going to do it or how to do it, I knew that whatever I could do could not be worse than I was already experiencing. So I embarked upon the journey to self-healing. Of course, at the time, I was looking at just from a physical standpoint. So people who knew a lot about physical health, including nutrition, which is what I majored in and learned how to kill myself, I had to be willing to unlearn everything I thought I knew, leave it all beside, unpack those bags, in fact, throw the bags over the bridge, because I didn't even want them there, because whatever I was going to put in there, they were still the same bags. I had to reduce myself to absolutely nothing, complete nothingness, to rebuild and find out what the answers are. And you want to know what I found out? I don't know shit. That's the answer. We know nothing. But I do know the more we think we know, the less we know. And the more we realize we know not, the more open to the magic of the universe that we are able to experience. Yep, sorry, I'm sure you expected after 15 months I'd have some cool answers, and I don't, so here you go. But I do want to share some things and some of the questions I've had with you. But let's get back to, just my personal update, because I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on that. Boring, blah, blah, blah. Soul Journeys Radio will be the same format as before. We will have many of the same guests, including Leah LaChapelle, Tobias Lars, Heather Rhodes. So we'll still have our gardening shows. We'll still have our herb shows. We'll still have, basically all the same topics. But I do want to take it up a notch. I was going to want to implement some more shows with real people, talking about their real experiences, their triumphs. This is not a show of experts. This is not a show of authoritarians telling you how to do everything perfectly because we're just, better than God and know everything. Nope, that's not this show. This show, including your host, is, let's see, I make every single mistake in the book. I screw up just about everything I do. I learn every single thing the hard way. Yep. And here, now I'm going to learn where the breaks are and what music we have on the show. So, woo-hoo, I hear that. And we will be right back. So stay tuned, everyone. SoulJourneysRadio.com.
It's time to get real and heal. MyTrueEssence.net would like to tell you about Modifiland brown seaweed extract. It's composed of an elementally rich seaweed called laminaria. It takes 40 pounds of laminaria to make just 1 pound of Modifiland. There's nothing else like Modifiland. It is the richest in alginate, fucoidin, organic iodine, and lamarian. Alginates are the most effective organic element in nature that enable the body to rid itself of heavy metals, radioactive elements, and toxins. Fucoidin is an extremely effective anti-cancer substance found abundantly in brown seaweed. Organic iodine is the greatest protection for the thyroid offered by nature. Laminarin aids in the prevention and treatment of cardiovascular disease. Go to www.mytrueessence.net and click the Modifiland banner to get started on your path to rich health today. Also check out the Healing Shop for proven essential oils, medicinal teas, and even health coaching. It's time to get real and heal. Go to www.mytrueessence.net.
Get real and heal. Listen to Christie on Soul Journeys Radio.
No rules. No rules. No taboo topics. No taboo topics. No fear of doom. No fear of doom. We are American Freedom Radio. American Freedom Radio.
All right, welcome back, and thanks again for joining us here tonight. Soul Journeys Radio on AmericanFreedomRadio.com, and thanks for all the feedback. It looks like you can hear me well on my cell phone internet connection, and yay, that's exciting. All right, so I don't have to quit already. Okay, well, I'm all words anyways. Words. I do want to talk about that, but I posed a question in the last segment about duality. Is it an observation or is it an actual law in this plane? I would love to hear your comments on that. If you want to give us a call tonight, the phone number is 218-339-8525. That's 218-339-8525, and I'm going to be posing a couple other questions I would love to hear what you have to say about. But, if you would like to join us for the text chat, you can go over to souljourneysradio.com. In the middle-ish, up on the top, there's a tab that says Listen and Chat, so just click on there. And again, as I mentioned last segment, we do need your help. All of us. We are all volunteers here, Danny and everybody in the boardroom working hard to bring these shows to you so that we don't have to charge monthly subscription fees like I think all the other networks. We need to rely on faith and hope that, if you really like what we're doing, I'm just asking you to give back. So, anyways, let's catch up. Where was I? So I went on my soul journey, December 2013, as I see many of our longtime listeners in the chat. And thanks again for being here, by the way. It is so good to see your smiling faces. But, yeah, I was planning on being gone a month. And let me tell you, even though many of you were following me on Facebook and the website and stuff when I was able to upload stuff, you know, I never really talked about everything because I just felt like, man, this is crazy. It was like the worst and best times ever. The most magical and the most fearful, the most dark, the most light, the most everything all in one place. And, you know, from day one. So here I am. I'm doing my show talking about following your heart, right? Take time for yourself. Do what pleases you. Let go of those chains and the boxes, the safety nets, the comfort zone, and all of these things. And even though I still, you know, I mean, I travel pretty freely in my van and sleep in a tent in the snowstorms, 10-degree weather, 35-mile-an-hour winds, and oh boy, was that fun. But even I, as free as many of you think I am, I had problems with it. And, you know, the funny thing is, the very last video I did was called Stepping Outside Your Comfort Zone. 20 minutes later, that's when my channel was deleted. And so there I was in the video talking about how the whole trip, every single little thing that I planned was changed. Every place I was supposed to visit for certain holidays, somebody died or unexpectedly went out of town. Every single city I went to ended up with ice storms. I mean, it was even snowing in Florida. I actually have pictures being snowed in Florida. And, you know, the funny thing, though, it only takes like 1/8 of an inch of ice to call it snowed in. And I guess for some reason they don't believe in salt and stuff. So, yeah, every single thing was closed and bridges were closed and it was fun. But see, up at that 1 month trip that I planned for, I planned to be free. Listen how ridiculous I am. So we all are, by the way. I'm just not ashamed to tell you. So even though it was supposed to be free and, you know, I knew the route I wanted to go and a few stops I wanted to do, you know, I had everything planned. I had my juicers, I had my coffee maker, I had my fresh ground coffee, my fresh homegrown tobacco, I had, you know, my coolers with my salsa, I had my processor. I mean, so I'm roughing it, right? With all this equipment. And I realized, like, what a baby I am, you know? Like, you want to be little princess. So, yeah, I found myself that as this trip stretched out to 4 months instead of 1, well, I ran out of all those comforts. Yeah. Yep, so no more fresh ground coffee with my fresh ground vanilla beans and fresh ground cinnamon and star anise with fresh cashew cream with the Vitamix. Not all the places I went to had power anyways, so I couldn't make that stuff. I was out of my tobacco. I was out of, oh my God, everything. Like one of the comments in the chat says, Christie is the reason for the snowstorms. You know what? I believe you. I totally agree. I really, you know, one place would be perfect. So I'm thinking I'm going there next. And then what happens? Ice storm. So yeah, I'm probably the ice queen and that's cool. We're working on it. But, anyways, it was just kind of ironic to me that the last video I did, because really that was my only income, is my old YouTube channel, the Soul Journeys Radio, that was taken down. And so there I was, you know, fish out of water, not one single dollar coming in, camping in those ice storms, not knowing, you know, what was going to happen. But at the same time, when I looked back at all the dreams I had written down in my cell phone and stuff, I always ended up exactly where I was supposed to be. And then I ended up going to this place. Now, in the back of my mind, I was always thinking, God, it would be really cool to find a place that I can garden year-round or a new place to call home. I never, ever, ever saw that until I entered Homosassa, Florida, which was really interesting because my trip went, when I was supposed to be going there, I ended up going back north and then east and then down the Keys. And, you know, it wasn't until a couple months later where I actually ended up here. But I didn't even know that that was the name of the city. The only reason I ended up here was because I was so frustrated that I had been in Florida so long and I still hadn't swam with a manatee. So I contacted Tobias. I sent him a text, and I'm like, where do you do those manatee adventures? I've been here all this time, and I still haven't seen a manatee. Poor me, right? Yeah. So he said something about Seven Sisters Springs. So I Googled it, stuck it in the GPS, and drove down that road so that I can camp in the state park for 2 nights and go swim with manatees. Well, I'll tell you what, that road, that was the first time where I could take a breath. Wow. I could call this home. It just, everything felt so right. Let me tell you, that river, Chazahowitzka River, the most beautiful, to me, and I don't want to say in the world or whatever, but it was just very, very, it felt like home to me. In any given day, in a 1-hour period, you can hang out with manatees, turtles, alligators, owls, eagles, pigs, deer, raccoons. You know how I love my raccoons. And I mean, just everything. And it really reminds me of like old Florida. It's not built up. And, you know, that river, of course, is a preserve or something, a wildlife preserve. So it's not built up and commercialized and stuff like everywhere else, especially in Florida. No. And pretty much everywhere, but I'm just kind of making fun of myself here because I said, I would never live in Florida. And so here I am. I've been here. So what happened is I checked into the campground to camp for 2 nights, and we had a big rainstorm come in, and it rained 18 hours in a row. And I'm kind of anal, for those of you that don't know. Yes, I'm a Virgo, Sun, Mercury, and Mars. And when you're living in your car for 4 months, you know, I just kind of want stuff clean. I don't want it wet and muddy and mildewy. You know, sometimes I sleep in the car in rest areas or Walmarts or even neighborhoods if there aren't any rest areas in Walmarts. And I just, you know, I got tinted windows, so I'm good to go. But anyways, I decided to check in to pay for another couple nights because I didn't want to pack up in the rain and mud and all of this stuff and go check out a couple other destinations I had in mind. And one day I paddled to the Gulf. It was the day before that rainstorm. And by the way, don't ever kayak in those winds to the Gulf alone, okay? Just save that for the retards like me. So I'm thinking, oh my God, this place is so beautiful, but why isn't anybody here? Paddle out a little further, get the waves going, and, you know, you stop paddling in like 30 seconds, you've already gone back like 100 feet. And sometimes I was paddling so hard, everything I had, and I was still going backwards. So yeah, anyways, do not try this at home. And that's why I'm here, by the way, back in radio, telling you all the things not to do. So, anyways, I came back from that paddle, and the manager there was like, hey, what do you do for a living? And you know me, I'm like, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, all right, dude, you know, cool. The reason I ask is because you really seem to like it here. People really have taken a liking to you, and it appears you have some skills that we would like to implement here. Like, well, cool. So I'm thinking, damn. Maybe that's my answer. So I have to admit I was pretty fed up. being in the public eye, being, slandered, being just feeling sabotaged and stalked. Yeah, and that's not just a feeling, it's an actual reality. But, I just felt, God, this would be my perfect answer. I could just hide out in this beautiful forest, and I can teach and cook and, garden and do all the things I was doing at, in Branson here. And so that's what happened. 2 weeks later, I ended up with a travel trailer. Anyways. And I went back to Branson. I sold a little bit of stuff, so I had gas money, and I gave the rest away. So there I was, going even a step further. I was talking about in the first segment of letting everything go. It's not just your thoughts. It's also your belongings and things that you are attached to. I kept my rocks. I kept my pine cones. I kept bags of sand, feathers, and sentimental gifts. So if any of you out there have ever sent me or given me a gift, I swear to God I still have it, because that's important to me. I mean, I gave away my $150,000 wardrobe, my antiques, my, everything that I was carrying along with me all these years, because I'm thinking, I had to question myself. How free am I really? I thought about that. It's pieces of wood and leather. And yeah, they're beautiful, but I thought how attached I had to be to them to move them twice when I lived in Salt Lake City, then all the way to San Diego, 2 different houses there, then all the way to Missouri, 3 different houses there. And I'm thinking, damn, Christie, are you going to practice what you preach? Or are you just going to tell everybody else to be free? You're going to hold on to your stupid possessions so you can feel safe, but you're really talking about stepping over that edge and stretching yourself, expanding yourself, and learning to know yourself. Yep, so I had safety nets. I don't anymore, which doesn't feel safe. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to tell you it's all easy and stuff. And then I find myself in this disposable lifestyle, which is a lot different than what I'm used to. But, living in an RV is fun. It feels free as long as your car works. Yeah, that's another story, and all of those things. But so here I am, I'm learning all of the lessons that I asked for, and guess what? Fighting it every single step of the way. Yep, that's me. I fought it every single step of the way, and guess what? I'm still fighting it. I was still here before the show thinking, well, this is my first show back, but I can't do this. I have this crappy laptop. It takes 10 minutes to load 1 page. My email always gets hacked, and they all end up disappearing. My pages keep disappearing. I have a cell phone internet connection that costs $300 a month. I don't have the tools to make my own banners or edit my own website or upload my own videos or archives or all of these things. So just so you know, I'm just like you. I am still fighting every step of the way, but I am here to share whatever I've learned. And most of that is the what not to do, because that's usually where I start. Hang on, everybody. We're going to take a little break. We will be right back. Soul Journeys Radio.
It's time to get real and heal. MyTrueEssence.net would like to tell you about Modifiland brown seaweed extract. It's composed of an elementally rich seaweed called laminaria. It takes 40 pounds of laminaria to make just 1 pound of Modifiland. There's nothing else like Modifiland. It is the richest in alginate, fucoidin, organic iodine, and lamarian. Alginates are the most effective organic element in nature that enable the body to rid itself of heavy metals, radioactive elements, and toxins. Fucoidin is an extremely effective anti-cancer substance found abundantly in brown seaweed. Organic iodine is the greatest protection for the thyroid offered by nature. Laminarin aids in the prevention and treatment of cardiovascular disease. Go to www.mytrueessence.net and click the Modifiland banner to get started on your path to rich health today. Also check out the Healing Shop for proven essential oils, medicinal teas, and even health coaching. It's time to get real and heal. Go to www.mytrueessence.net.
Get real and heal. Listen to Christie on Soul Journeys Radio.
Yo, what's up? Check this out.
The voice of the revolution. American Freedom Radio. American Freedom Radio.
Welcome back, and thanks so much for joining us here tonight. Soul Journeys Radio on AmericanFreedomRadio.com. This is Christie Aphrodite, and welcome back, everybody. So excited to do my first show since December 2013. And take a look at the website, AmericanFreedomRadio.com. Chances are your favorite hosts are still joining us. We have Vinny Eastwood, Alec Ansary, and Susan Posel. So here, my time slot, it's so weird to kind of think about. It doesn't matter what time zone I live in. For some reason, my show always magically ends up being 7 p.m. So here we are, 7 to 9 p.m., Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, on AmericanFreedomRadio.com. And again, if you'd like to join us for the text chat, you can go to souljourneysradio.com, and up in the top center, click on Listen Live, or Listen and Chat, sorry. That'll take you to the player and the chat room. And if you have any questions or comments, you want to talk about some of the points I've brought up, the phone number is 218-339-8525. That's 218-339-8525. So I think the last couple segments I've pretty much established how much I suck. So, again, I'm not here to, I am not an authoritarian. I don't have all the answers, but I do have a ton of questions, and I am not afraid to share my experiences with you during my own personal soul journey. So, I think, where did I leave off? Oh, it's so much easier having a guest, so I promise you tonight will be the boringest show of the year, because it's just me. But I knew y'all were curious. Where you been? What have you been doing? So, I found myself living in that beautiful wildlife preserve in Homosassa, Chassahowitzka, Florida, on the Nature Coast, and it is still definitely one of my favorite places, but I did end up choosing to leave, and I'm still kind of close by, but, stepping out of that comfort zone, that's what I'm pretty good at. Actually, again, I suck. As I shared with you before break, I fought it every step of the way, and I still do. But it's just so funny to look back and find out how technically, like if you look at, point A and point B, and forget every single thing in the middle, B is technically almost exactly everything I asked for. When I was at A, I had no idea how I would get there, and I also didn't know that I'd have to go through XYZ, LMNOP, QRST, and everything else to get to B. So I know how easy it is to think that, oh, we're not getting anywhere. It's one step forward and 87,000 steps backwards. But hey, we're here and we're doing it, and I'm super happy to be back on the air, and I'm super happy to see all of you beautiful people. I just want to thank you for your long-time support. I was realizing I started this almost 10 years ago. Holy crap, where did the time go? So, I guess that 1 year break, we're just going to keep calling that my soul journey. Okay, so in the last segment, or segment before, I mentioned to you some of the questions that I have and I'd like to talk about. So again, if you have any input, the number is 218-339-8525. And the question was, on this planet, this plane, this dimension, this material world, whatever, everybody, I think, pretty much agrees, or has this is duality. Again, summer, winter, spring, fall, black, white, hot, cold, midnight, noon, etc., sun, moon. And I guess, they say, well, you have to experience one to experience the other. And so therein lies the question. Is it an observation, or is it an absolute law? Can we change it, or is it always going to be this way in this Earth school? So that's the question. And then I brought up another question, which I have not shared with you yet. I am about to right now, but I did post it on Facebook. By the way, my public page does still exist on Facebook, even though I'm not allowed. So you can go to Facebook and I guess search Christie Aphrodite of Soul Journeys Radio. And page is up there, so I'm going to be, now that I am online, although it's through my phone, I, will do my best to update everything, definitely be posting all the shows. And there is a group on Facebook as well, so that's called Soul Journeys Radio. So feel free to join that, add your comments, suggestions, your criticisms. Guess what? I can take it because I'm my own worst critic. So I guarantee anything you can give me is nothing compared to what I can give myself. But good luck trying. So here's the next question. We've done some shows in the past on love and relationships and, all of these things that everybody, of course, has an answer for. And I kind of wanted to talk about that tonight. I asked a friend what they thought the definition of love is. And you know what? Well, here, I'll just say that really quick, and then we can talk about that at the top of the hour. But he said, love is finding someone that can put up with your shit while you're trying to put up with theirs. What do y'all think about that? Love to hear. See you at the top of the hour.
It's time to get real and heal. MyTrueEssence.net would like to tell you about Modifiland brown seaweed extract. It's composed of an elementally rich seaweed called laminaria. It takes 40 pounds of laminaria to make just 1 pound of Modifiland. There's nothing else like Modifiland. It is the richest in alginate, fucoidin, organic iodine, and lamarian. Alginates are the most effective organic element in nature that enable the body to rid itself of heavy metals, radioactive elements, and toxins. Fucoidin is an extremely effective anti-cancer substance found abundantly in brown seaweed. Organic iodine is the greatest protection for the thyroid offered by nature. Laminarin aids in the prevention and treatment of cardiovascular disease. Go to www.mytrueessence.net and click the Modifiland banner to get started on your path to rich health today. Also check out the Healing Shop for proven essential oils, medicinal teas, and even health coaching. It's time to get real and heal. Go to www.mytrueessence.net.
Get real and heal. Listen to Christie on Soul Journeys Radio.
No rules. No rules. No taboo topics. No taboo topics. No fear of doom. No fear of doom. We are American Freedom Radio. American Freedom Radio.
All right. Welcome back. Top of the second hour here tonight. Soul Journeys Radio on AmericanFreedomRadio.com. And sorry, I think that might have been a long break, but hey, we are working out the kinks. And again, if you are looking for perfection, this is not the show. Hit the little red X, turn your phone off, do whatever. But we are real. And again, I want to thank Danny Romero and everybody else who has been working diligently to put the network back together. We do need your help to keep it going, though. That's just the unfortunate fact in this day and age. Every single thing costs money. And, producing a show. I was thinking, so here I am. My only internet is a cell phone, and I have this crappy laptop. It takes, 10 minutes, literally, to open up one page. And I'm thinking, oh my God, I've already spent 30 hours online, and I haven't even made it on the air yet. Oh my goodness. So, as I expressed to you, the first segment, in the first hour, we're going to kind of do the same platform here. We're going to have some of your favorite guests of the past, Heather Rhodes of Gardening Know-How, Leah LaChapelle of FearOrLove.com, Tobias Lars, of course, of Soul, oh man, he has so many. Course of Awakening, let's use that one. He has like 40 websites, so, okay, courseofawakening.com. And I will be live now Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern. Of course, all the shows are archived for free. It'll be at the website, AmericanFreedomRadio.com. And it looks like Russ in Missouri has offered to help post everything on the main website. That's SoulJourneysRadio.com. And if you wanted to join us in the text chat, which chat room's always open, but I'm only there during showtime and maybe a little bit before and after, but go to SoulJourneysRadio.com and you'll see a listen and chat link or a tab right in the middle, top of the page. Click on there and join your happy little soul family. So I am glad to be back. So just kind of to let you know, you can check also to stay up to date on upcoming shows. You can, up in the top next to the listen and chat tab is a tab for the forum. So you can go into the Soul Journeys Radio forum and then click on archives. Now, there's over 1,000 archives in there already. Again, I've been doing this almost 10 years, and it's kind of astonishing, really, but you can find all of those archives in the forum. Most of them are categorized, especially like regular returning guests. They have their own threads. Dr. Larry Babcock, Sidney Ross Singer, Heather Rhodes, Dr. David Klein, all the people that we did a lot of repeat shows with are all in one place. And then the rest are scheduled by topic, natural health or GMOs and deceptions, things like that. So in the meantime, again, most of our regular listeners know I was deleted off of YouTube. No warning, no anything. And that kind of put a kink in things because now we had all those sites with thousands of broken links. So I want to thank Russ and Louie in New York, who's also been helping. He set up a Daily Motion account where he was able to upload whatever videos he had access to. Most of my videos, and especially all the experiments and stuff, were direct live webcam upload. They weren't like edited. They weren't things that I had copies of, and so they all disappeared. So I actually kind of want to put this out there. I think it's kind of sucks to think that only my stalkers have copies of my work. So I'm hoping there's somebody out there that has any of those old videos, especially the dildo one. Man, we can't live without the dildo one. You have to admit, that was the funniest video ever. So, if you want to learn about the Cold War. No, anyways, but any video, if you do have them, please contact me, and we will make sure they get uploaded at the new YouTube channel. And I just posted that in the text chat. And let me see, with my internet thing, it's kind of hard for me to click on things really fast. But I think it's youtube.com/ I think it's Truth Brigade YT, maybe. I don't know. I didn't even set up that page. Actually, what happened is, in my political days and exposing the sex trafficking ring that was run by the cops, I got in a lot of trouble, and like a dozen YouTube pages, anybody that posted my work was deleted. And so I just kind of gave up, and then one of the listeners like, let me just make this for you, and you don't have to put any more effort. So there's a whole bunch of really old shows on there, and there's also some stuff where I lived in the woods, and me and my children playing with Rocky the raccoon, and the birdies, and the bunnies, and the doggies, and, boating, and my very first time jumping in a lake, and, things like that. But he's been working the last couple weeks, getting all the shows, or not all 1,000 of them, but, at least all of the ones from when we started Soul Journeys Radio up there. So, yeah, it says youtube.com/user/Truth Brigade YT, or I guess you can click on the link right at the website, souljourneysradio.com. Again, there is a Facebook page. There's the group that's Soul Journeys Radio on Facebook, or the public page where everything will be posted. That's Christie Aphrodite of Soul Journeys Radio. And while I'm talking about this, I also want to talk about my true essence, since I briefly brought that up. Unfortunately, I am unable at this time. It's not going to last forever, as we all know. Everything is only temporary. But at this time, I am unable to do the website or do any products other than just Modifilan. I'll just try to make a long story short, but I'm basically living in the woods behind a trailer park, running a greenhouse. So without internet, I have limited electricity. The electricity I have allows me to only run my refrigerator. I can't plug in a hairdryer, a heater, a KitchenAid mixer, a coffee grinder, any of those things that I need to make my medicine. Now that I have the internet through the cell phone, I can get back into doing sessions, obviously. I'm doing Skype here now on the radio, so I am available for sessions, and I do have Modifilan just until further notice. And by the way, there's always something in the works, so don't fret. Don't give up completely. But just for right now, I am unable to fulfill any other order on there. So anyways, I will update you about that. So I think that's enough of the nuts and bolts and nitty-gritty, boring stuff about our welcome back. Here we are. And again, before we went to break, I shared with you, I was asking around, love is, and somebody I know, this was their answer, and I want to talk about this. So call in, let me know how you feel about it. But he said, love is finding someone that can put up with your shit while you're trying to put up with theirs. And at first, I'm thinking, well, that's kind of negative, But, I'm really thinking that's what it is. And look at any self-proclaimed or so-called spiritually evolved whatever. Hey, newsflash, they're not happy in their relationships either. It's a struggle. It's work. It doesn't have to be bad work. It doesn't have to be a hard struggle, but that's about the gist of it, But relationships, of course, are something that we do need to help us grow if that, in fact, is our chosen path. I do believe that everybody who listens to AFR, and in particular Soul Journeys Radio, we are ready to look at our stuff. We're not pretending it doesn't exist. If you want to keep pretending it doesn't exist, go to the other shows. Not on our network. I didn't mean to imply that, but I don't want to be mentioning any other shows anyways. But, yeah, so you know which networks to go to if you want, to continue the blame game and continue the fear-mongering and all of that stuff. That's not going to happen here. So, yeah, since we have chosen this path, most of us have found that relationships are the best way to help us grow, help us define ourselves, help us perhaps even undefine ourselves. And I'll tell you what, during this time where it's felt like a forced vacation, that I was fighting every step of the way, I've really got to pay attention to a lot of things. I've had all these questions about my health. Why was I able to heal? Was it really just because I juiced and ate weeds? Was it really just because I meditated? Was it, why is this person sick? Why is that person not sick? Why is, all these questions and experiments. And I've just really found, I was actually shocked. I'm going to share something with you. Here I was in my little bubble thinking, oh, I'm so spiritually evolved, and I'm better than you, you guys suffer all that anger and judgment and, negativity and stuff because you're just not as cool as me. Yeah, you know those people, right? Well, we all have a little bit of that in us, including myself. And so there was an incident where I was initiated into redneck ways, and apparently I didn't have the right bathing suit on or something like that. So these, oh my God, it felt like high school. But these people actually wanted to fight me. And, I kind of had that air of superiority. And while I didn't let them trigger me, I was still holding on to these judgments and, you know, well, I'm so great. You can't trigger me. You can't piss me off. You can't, you know, make me stoop to your level. And I was feeling pretty proud of myself because it was, I mean, let me tell you, it was an ordeal. It was a talk of the town. And so everywhere I got to hear how great I am because I didn't let him get to me. And I'm thinking, yeah, wow, I think I got this down. Hey, I'm one of those really cool, you know, spiritual people. Well, let me tell you, about a month later, I saw how angry and triggered I could become. And it really didn't take much. It did not take that whole, you know, redneck initiation bash at the Springs. It took, it really wasn't that much. And this dude, you know, should I even tell you? Oh my God, this is what he said. No, it's none of your business. Okay, whatever. We're getting real here. So, crap. Okay, just so y'all know, I commit crimes. I sometimes smoke pot, and apparently that's a crime. So I was smoking pot with somebody who I felt, I don't know, we were trying to be friends, I guess. And he really liked to try to control, you know, he didn't like the way I dress because I look like a hippie and I don't fit in, and the things I talk about just aren't, you know, redneck ways, and, you know, but he'd sit down and smoke pot. All of it, by the way. So anyways, after we smoked, he what did he say? I don't know, he said something and I'm like, dude, please get out of here. Oh, well, I'm going to call the cops on you, he said. What? That's all it took, dude. Let me tell you, I'm just opening up here, and this is the first time I've ever done this, but I was triggered. I could not control my, and you know, whatever, I can blame post-traumatic stress, getting beat up, blah, 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 whatever. It's not about blaming anything. I'm telling you what I did. I saw that I could be triggered to those depths of anger. I grabbed this 4-foot cedar pole that was by my door because I wanted him to go. You know, you're going to really? You're going to call the cops? Are we 12 years old? So if you're smoking pot, it's okay. But if I'm smoking pot, no, you're going to use that as a tool to try to control me or get what you want? Yeah. Well, I mean, the good news is I was at least a little bit conscious of my anger. Like I knew that I just needed him out of there, and if I had to use a 4-foot cedar pole to do so, I was going to. But I also knew, oh man, this is so stupid. I was kind of laughing at myself through the anger, but I didn't want to hit him in the face or hit him in the back or hit him in the knees or, you know, anything stupid that's going to, like, hurt him. So I was conscious of only hitting him in the butt, but I did. I lost my temper. That's my first time getting physical. Oh my God. And how long? I mean, 20-something years. So it was kind of a shock. And, you know, Christie, put you and your spiritual superiority, you know, just brush that all aside because it does not exist. So I really have learned a lot about myself and judgment. You know, as soon as I feel like I make a step forward, oh, yay, non-duality and judgment and love and blah, blah, blah. You know what? That's only one side of humanity. That's only one aspect of all there is. And people, if you've been listening to this show since the beginning of time, that's not what we talk about. We talk about embracing all of our humanity and, you know, instead of suppressing or denying the shadow, the anger, the jealousy, the things that all you people, not all, obviously, I'm using general terms here, but you know what I'm saying. You know the types that, you know, my shit doesn't stink because, you know, I read some book. I read the Bhagavad Gita and I went to India. Yeah, those people. Well, we all, including myself, even have a little bit of that in us. So it was kind of fun to go through this experiment and be reduced or reminded, I think is a better word, as to our humanity. And reading all the books or quoting all the poets or all the New Age, you know, whatever, you still have it in you. So let's get real with it. And that kind of brought me to another place, deep in the sea of womankind, getting to know myself and my soul journey. Wow. That rage, those judgments, that pessimism, that all of that still exists. And I'm sorry I can't keep up with the text chat, but I am seeing somebody's asking me about cracker. And so I think I should bring that. I live in Florida now, as most of you know. And cracker, all this time, we thought was some kind of racist term because, I don't know, some president or vice president. I can't even remember those guys anymore. Once you step off the stage, the puppets just kind of disappear. But remember when he was like, them crackers, and, it's supposed to be some kind of racist word or something, but it's actually not. It stands for, or that's what they used to call the people, the settlers here in Florida with their cattle herds, and they would crack the whip, and so it really is kind of it's a segment of population. It's a lifestyle. It's like being in calling yourself a redneck or a hillbilly or something like that.
It's time to get real and heal. MyTrueEssence.net would like to tell you about Modifiland brown seaweed extract. It's composed of an elementally rich seaweed called laminaria. It takes 40 pounds of laminaria to make just 1 pound of Modifiland. There's nothing else like Modifiland. It is the richest in alginate, fucoidin, organic iodine, and lamarian. Alginates are the most effective organic element in nature that enable the body to rid itself of heavy metals, radioactive elements, and toxins. Fucoidin is an extremely effective anti-cancer substance found abundantly in brown seaweed. Organic iodine is the greatest protection for the thyroid offered by nature. Laminarin aids in the prevention and treatment of cardiovascular disease. Go to www.mytrueessence.net and click the Modifiland banner to get started on your path to rich health today. Also check out the Healing Shop for proven essential oils, medicinal teas, and even health coaching. It's time to get real and heal. Go to www.mytrueessence.net.
Get real and heal. Listen to Christie on Soul Journeys Radio.
Welcome to the world's meeting place. American.
It's practically narcotic.
Freedom.
Oh, yes. I like very much.
Radio.
You're an American institution.
American Freedom Radio.
Alrighty, welcome back, and thanks for joining us here again tonight, Soul Journeys Radio on AmericanFreedomRadio.com. And apparently I talk way too much, so I guess radio is a good choice for me. I mean, I'm a woman, hello, talk. And then now I get to do it on the air all by myself without being called crazy. See, if I didn't have a microphone in front of me, then people are like calling cops and get me hogtied and stuff. But as long as I have a mic, I'm safe. Yay. Okay, so I don't even know where I got cut off because whatever, we're in a time warp. So let's go to the callers. So sorry for making you hold so long. I'm going to read the questions again, and please feel free to call in 218-339-8525. First of all, is duality an observation or a law? And love is. You can fill in the blank however you like, but the comment I did want to talk about is love is finding someone that can put up with your shit while you're trying to put up with theirs. So, yeah, caller line 218-339-8525, and we're going to go to our first caller tonight, and hopefully this works here. Please say yes. Please say yes. It looks like it is. Area code 570. Welcome to the show.
I'm just listening in at work, really.
Okay, I kind of hear somebody. But it's not very clear. Let's see. I'm going to ask for help here. In that room. Okay, 570. Are you there? Uh-oh. Let's see. Okay, 570, if you're there, can you please talk and we can kind of try to fix it in the sound room? Oh, I heard some coughing or something. Area code 570. Are you there? Okay, something isn't right. So let's just go see if this is happening to all of the callers. We will go to the next caller here tonight. And, I don't know, maybe we can figure out what's going on in the studio. Next caller tonight. I think I recognize this number, and I am not scared. It must be the Louie B. Welcome to the show.
Good evening, my peoples. Your Lord and Savior has arrived. And do you smell what the Christie is cooking? She is back on American Freedom Radio.
All right. You know what? I heard this one, so at least we know that the caller line is in fact working. Maybe y'all, it did sound a little bit loud and overmodulated, so if y'all in the chat room will let me know and see if that's coming through okay. Anyways, and I'm seeing a comment in the chat about listening to the show. Just to let you all know again, we have a dedicated line that people can call in to just listen. It's not a caller line. You can just listen, and that phone number is 605-562-5173. That's 605-562-5173, and you can listen live on a regular mobile phone or analog phones or whatever. So, Louie, are you still there?
Jews! How you doing?
You're trying to get me kicked off the air again already, huh?
I didn't do it the first time. Don't blame me.
Okay, Louie, I don't know what... Yeah, that's true. It's really, really good to hear your voice, and I'm so glad you're calling in on my maiden voyage this time around.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure... Oh, God, you sound so much better. Yeah, if you could maybe back away from the mic or something like that.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
So, I am glad to be one of your first callers on the maiden voyage. Hopefully we don't hit another iceberg. But, you know, you never know.
We're going to hit about 12.
Yep. Puerto Ricans and former meth heads first.
Yeah, okay. That's right. Where is our favorite former meth head?
Yeah. Maybe this will inspire new episodes of Russ Dove Shoots People in the Face.
Yes, you absolutely should get right on it. Louie, let me ask you, did you hear the questions or comments that I shared, and do you have an opinion on them?
Yes. I heard that you missed, I heard about the dildos. That's actually why I called in. Because remember, I'm still trying to find you a good brand of dildo for you, because I got a guy.
You told me about that guy. I've been waiting for 5 years.
Yeah, well, you know, he has a waiting list. He has you on the waiting list.
Excellent. Well, you know what? I just could not wait for him. I wanted to attempt my sexual awakening, freeing myself without your guy, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, whoever your guy is. Hopefully he's servicing you well, but he was unable to service me. But thank you for trying.
Yeah. So, okay, well, I mean, say the truth, as someone that tests everyone's love for me, as you know, I believe real love is, no matter how fucked up the person can be, within reason, you love them no matter what. So, sometimes that means maybe backing away, but you still love them from a distance. I mean, you know, but then again, I don't know what type of love you're talking about, because, you know, I love you differently than I would love like a lover, or you know, like you're pretty and all, but you know, I don't like your boobies.
I noticed.
I like other girls' boobies, but I don't fantasize about your boobies.
Well, that's kind of good to know. I'm glad, because then you won't end up being one of those guys dangling the carrot saying, "Oh, I'll help you if." Louis just doesn't.
Oh no, I help you regardless.
Yes, you do, and you never saw my boobies, so that's awesome.
Well, okay.
Oh, maybe you did.
There happened that time that you left the camera on Skype, and I come back from taking a dump, and there you are. I'm like, come on, woman.
Was that the time I was broadcasting to the world?
Yeah, pretty much on Google Plus.
Didn't that end up on some site where it was like $9.99 a minute or something, and I didn't find out until after you made your millions?
Well, you know what? If you were going to subject me to that, I was going to make money off of that, so that way I could get me a Hostess cake.
Well, can you at least buy me a computer that works and get me a real internet connection? And
I didn't make that much off your boobies. All I did, I made like 75 cents, and I went to the corner store and got me some Little Debbie cakes. They're delicious. I got some honey buns. I got some honey buns from your honey buns.
So I guess y'all know what happened with my bra-free experiment.
Yep. It helped Louis with his type 2 diabetes.
Actually, you know what? I do want to share about that, because I did, this is going to be my only show alone for a while, and I wanted to update y'all on some of the experiments I was doing, and I have been bra-free for 2.5 years now, and my breasts actually have...
So have I.
So we had talked about in previous shows. The oil pulling experiment, definitely. I definitely highly recommend oil pulling. Unfortunately, you won't be able to see the other videos, the updated videos, because they were, again, deleted. And Louis, while you're here, I'll just thank you for uploading everything
you're welcome.
Motion. I think it's dailymotion.com/Christie Aphrodite or something.
Yeah, something like that. I think it's on your fan page. And also, I wanted to talk about your oil pulling experiment. There was a time that you ran out of coconut oil, but there were some, let's say, donors.
That's funny. Okay. I actually didn't start that experiment yet, because I was supposed to do menstrual blood before that one. Oh,
okay. So, so you didn't start the foam blowing experiment?
Thank you for your offers of your donations.
Not mine.
I just don't think it'll be fresh by the time you ship it here from Brooklyn.
I wasn't offering mine. You can't have mine. If I get mine is premium goo.
Okay. Magoo. Okay, so, Louis, hang on, let me, and then the next experiment I was doing, which, my, YouTube channel, of course, got deleted, was the, hairy armpit. Experiment. I think I decided I was going to go 60 days, but I ended up going closer to 90. And the end result of that was, sorry, chinchillas, I like shaving my armpits. Once a week, whatever. I can support, the corporation that puts out the Venus razors, because I just like it. My hair never got long enough to dread it and dye it and braid it and all of that fun stuff, so I just had to cut it. Or Mike just...
He doesn't have nappy hairy armpits.
No, they're soft and squishy and stuff like that. So
just like your booty.
Not hairy. Pokey sometimes, but not hairy. And I haven't drawn any blood yet, so kind of a bummer, actually.
Well, I don't like to draw blood because it's too much red ink.
Well, it's a free dye. Yeah. You don't have to go to the salon anymore to get that beautiful red tint you like in your hair.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Louis, hey, are you still doing your show?
Yeah, sometimes. I had a porn star on last week that I'm proud of.
Nice. Did you do her?
I wish, but,
All right. Well, why don't you tell everybody where to get your show, and then we'll move on to the next caller.
Oh, this is the blow-off?
No, we're running out of time off.
All right. Well, it's the Crowd Shot Radio Show, like always. You can listen to it. Go to rantinglouisb.blogspot.com, and the player is there. And from there, you could click and, get my archives and whatnot for free. And,
Louis, let's tell everybody the news. He's a famous comedian now. He's doing live shows in Manhattan and Brooklyn and, New York City. And he's getting out there. And you haven't had too many tomatoes thrown at you, right?
No, it's actually, it's not tomatoes because we're in a recession. Well, actually, no, it is tomatoes. They used to be organic. Now they're GMO tomatoes that they're trying to fling at my ass.
Crap.
And, it's like I've been dodging them. So,
nice.
To make extra money, I went back to stripping.
Well, you keep dodging those GMO tomatoes, and I think we have a break coming up, but I got a message saying that the mic flatlined, so I don't know. I'm just going to keep talking until I get cut off, and we'll just, we'll see what happens. But holy smokes! Home stretch coming up right after this break. So let me see. Are we on break? Let's see. Does that mean we are on break? Let's see. I have no idea. Or maybe we don't have a break at all, and that's okay, because 2 hours just seems to go by in a blink. We do. 1 minute. Oh, okay, so we're not on break yet. All right, so let's, Louis, I love you, and thank you so much for calling in. And maybe we'll talk about these subjects another time. I had no idea how late it is, so we are going to let you go. And we'll bring on the next caller. Russ always has an opinion, so woohoo, Russ. We got just about a minute before we go to break. How you doing tonight?
I'm much better now that you're on the air, and that really means something to me. Good to hear you. I don't like that I only got a minute, but I'll do the best I can. Duality. I'm convinced from my studies that duality is a law. And love on the two sides, on one side, love is a gift to the one that created us. And then the relationships, I think your friend had a good definition of what relationships between the man and woman are.
Okay, hang on. Hold that, Russ. We are going to break, but hang on the line. We'll get you back on the other side. Stay tuned. Soul Journeys Radio.
It's time to get real and heal. MyTrueEssence.net would like to tell you about Modifiland brown seaweed extract. It's composed of an elementally rich seaweed called laminaria. It takes 40 pounds of laminaria to make just 1 pound of Modifiland. There's nothing else like Modifiland. It is the richest in alginate, fucoidin, organic iodine, and lamarian. Alginates are the most effective organic element in nature that enable the body to rid itself of heavy metals, radioactive elements, and toxins. Fucoidin is an extremely effective anti-cancer substance found abundantly in brown seaweed. Organic iodine is the greatest protection for the thyroid offered by nature. Laminarin aids in the prevention and treatment of cardiovascular disease. Go to www.mytrueessence.net and click the Modifiland banner to get started on your path to rich health today. Also check out the Healing Shop for proven essential oils, medicinal teas, and even health coaching. It's time to get real and heal. Go to www.mytrueessence.net.
Get real and heal. Listen to Christie on Soul Journeys Radio.
Welcome to the world's meeting place. American.
It's practically narcotics.
Freedom.
Oh, yes. I like very much.
Radio.
You're an American institution.
American Freedom Radio.
That's right. I double dog dare you. Please tell me who I am. Somebody's got to do it. All right, welcome back. This is the last segment here tonight. Holy smokes. Maiden voyage here. Soul Journeys Radio on AmericanFreedomRadio.com. And I want to thank you all for tuning in tonight. And it was so nice to see our beautiful soul family in the chat room at SoulJourneysRadio.com. You can go join us there anytime. And the AFR player is right there as well. well, whether it works for you or not, I don't know, but AmericanFreedomRadio.com has a few different streams that you can set up, or there's like Shoutcast or TuneIn Radio. Again, you can also listen from your cell phone, so you don't have to be home or at a network, affiliate playing our shows. So just on your cell phone or smartphone or iPhone or all of those computers that we're holding in our hands, just go to TuneIn Radio, download the free app, and then search for AmericanFreedomRadio.com, and you can listen to us anytime. And, I'm still technically deficient, and that's okay, but if you're smarter than me, and chances are you are, you could probably figure out how to set an alarm for your favorite shows as well. But, welcome back. Last segment here, and we were talking about life and love. We've got a couple callers on the lines, and let's see, about 7 minutes left. So we're going to finish up here with Russ, and then our next caller looks like 602. So hang on a minute. But Russ, are you still there?
I am, and the proper hello, Christy. How are you doing tonight?
Yeah, hang on.
Never mind about the how you doing.
Okay. Can you hear me? You can't hear me, apparently.
I can hear you just fine.
Okay, well, you're, okay, I don't know if it's just me, but you are so loud and overmodulated, that it's almost impossible. Much better, and now you can probably hear me all right, so we got a few minutes here, so please continue.
For the first question, to get an answer to your first question on duality, what exactly, when I hear you say duality and the pretense you're saying it sounds like you're talking about the oppression on you, or the evil in the world, or the wrongness of the world, and we agree that's there.
No, that's not. I was talking about duality as it exists in this dimension, in the material plane here on planet Earth. I'll bring up a few examples again. Summer, winter, north, south, cold, hot, noon, midnight. I am talking about the reality that we are experiencing. Is it a law, or is duality just an observation?
I believe it's a law. I believe that's part of what makes it all work is the force and the counterforce, the yin and the yang, and that comes out of Eastern philosophy. And there's a tremendous amount of Eastern philosophy that I've proven to be true for myself, that most of Western society doesn't recognize or accept. And so I think there's another level of duality that we are breaking into right now, and a part of the reason you're being so oppressed right now is because you've dared to step up and talk about the unseen world, the spirit realm. And so even another duality exists that we are exploring now, in the fact that we are spirit and we are flesh. And then 2 points, and I'll move off of the duality into love if you'd like, or leave you to have the last word on that.
We have 4 minutes before we get cut off, and one other caller.
Interesting thing about 2 points of duality here, and that is light and cold, or darkness and cold. And darkness only exists absent light. It can only get so dark. You remove 100% of light, and it can't get any darker. And it's the same thing with cold. Cold only exists when you remove the heat. And you can only move 100% of the heat. Now, modern science has discovered ways of making things colder, but at any rate, so I believe duality is a law.
Okay, so is it a law specific to this plane only on planet Earth? Is it some people believe that once we are ascended and beyond this reality that there is no duality and everything is all one?
Well, I hear that belief, but based on my knowledge of the spirit realm, there is also in the spirit realm, there is this duality that exists today. Now, my understanding of a particular teaching says that at some point it won't be even in the physical plane, but I believe that not only from observation, because I don't have anything that I can put definitive proof on, but in the spirit realm, there is evil and there is good or lack of evil, just as there is in the physical realm at this time. So what the future holds, we'll only know when we get there.
That's right. And, I'm sure we're going to address this topic and many more, multiple other times. Tomorrow night, we're going to be joined by Leah LaChapelle. And next week, we're going to kick it off with Heather Rhodes of gardeningnowhow.com. Check the calendar at souljourneysradio.com. And again, you can click at the top of the page. There's a tab. Click to go to the forum, and you can check out upcoming shows, current show, and all the 1,000+ archives. And Russ, thank you again for your help in making all of this happen. We have 3 more minutes left and another caller on the line, so I don't want to leave anyone hanging. So thank you so much for your call. We're going to go to the next caller now. That is area code 602. Welcome to the show.
Good evening, Miss Aphrodite.
Oh, I recognize this voice.
Hi, Christy, honey.
Hi, sweetheart. How are you?
This is the aforementioned former meth addict. At this point, I've got 15 years, 10 months, and many days to go, but doing okay.
Yeah. Leave it to Louie to make it sound so romantic. We have Puerto Ricans and meth heads here on this show.
Yes. Well, to the listeners out there, you can refer to him as Difficult Brown.
I agree with that. And, speaking of your accomplishment, Casey, I know previously we had talked about doing a video on addictions and trying to help people because, as you mentioned here, you've been clean for over 15 years, which is just an incredible accomplishment. So, I don't know. I guess I'll put you on the spot.
It's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to put you on the spot right here, live radio.
Go ahead.
Are you going to do that video or a show or something with me talking about your experience and advice that you can recommend for other people who actually do want to be clean?
Yeah, I will definitely tell people what not to do. That I can do. And,
yes, come to Soul Journeys Radio if you want to hear everything not to do.
Yeah, exactly. But before we get cut off, I just wanted to say welcome back. Welcome the frick back, Danny Romero. My God. Thank you for making it and bringing the network back on board. Thank you, Russ. Thank you, Louie, JD, and everybody that has brought the show back. And I love the lovely new studio where you have is I love the massive improvements. And I'm, so grateful that you're back because now it's weird. I don't have to make dinner during the show anymore. I can actually.
Isn't that something? Doesn't that feel good?
Go ahead.
Doesn't that feel good?
In a weird sort of way, yeah. It's kind of spooky, but
anyway,
to answer your one question. As far as the relationship thing and love, yeah, the quote you mentioned earlier, absolutely. Is it oversimplified? Possibly, but I think it's a good barometer to start with and see if we all get along or, your relationship with the person, it starts from there. And is it, does love trump all? I think at the end of the day it does. So
yeah.
That's it.
Well, thank you for sharing that with us, Casey, and thank you so much for calling in. I think we have about 30 seconds here, so I just want to say I love you all. Thank you again for being here tonight, and thank you for your calls as well. And, I'll just read to you a couple comments that we got when I posed that question on Facebook. One person said, personally, I've currently arrived at the shit I see in others is stuff I need to work on in myself. And thus love is finding the best mirror in another leads to a more overall kindness and healing than the opposite. And the next comment, I'm more the mess. Well, I'd share with you more comments, but I hear the music, and holy smokes, it was so good to be back. I just giving you all big loves and hugs, and Oh, man, we're going to do this. And again, we need your help. There is a PayPal button on the site, souljourneysradio.com. You can go to AmericanFreedomRadio.com. And we promise, as always, we are going to put your money to the greatest use possible. Come back for more shows on natural healing, herbs, gardening, all that metaphysical fun stuff that we talk about with a dose of reality.
It's time to get real and heal. MyTrueEssence.net would like to tell you about Modifiland brown seaweed extract. It's composed of an elementally rich seaweed called laminaria. It takes 40 pounds of laminaria to make just 1 pound of Modifiland. There's nothing else like Modifiland. It is the richest in alginate, fucoidin, organic iodine, and lamarian. Alginates are the most effective organic element in nature that enable the body to rid itself of heavy metals, radioactive elements, and toxins. Fucoidin is an extremely effective anti-cancer substance found abundantly in brown seaweed. Organic iodine is the greatest protection for the thyroid offered by nature. Laminarin aids in the prevention and treatment of cardiovascular disease. Go to www.mytrueessence.net and click the Modifiland banner to get started on your path to rich health today. Also check out the Healing Shop for proven essential oils, medicinal teas, and even health coaching. It's time to get real and heal. Go to www.mytrueessence.net.
Get real and heal. Listen to Christie on Soul Journeys Radio.
You're listening to the future of talk. American Freedom Radio. This is American Freedom Radio.